knows what novations are. Now, that's not the title of this class, but this is very important because there's going to be a specific type of conversation that's going to be had here that's going to allow for you to take these wholesale deals that you have and put them somewhere else. Okay, somewhere where you're going to have access to more than just the average buyer, but a traditional buyer, somebody who's purchasing properties not just for investment, but possibly to live in. How many of you guys have a friend that does construction right now that would buy one of your fixer-uppers if they had the money and fix it up themselves to live in it? Come on, man. That's me. Well, I'm in San Antonio. It's not fair. We're predominantly Mexican here, okay? And I know that sounds crazy, but your boy is Mexican, right? In case anybody doubted that, I'm hardcore Mexican, but I'm white complected. I don't speak Spanish, and I got a black person's name. So you guys are talking to the best of three worlds, in my opinion. But with that being said, guys, disposition is where I see 90% of real estate deals die. It's where I see 90% of real estate deals die. Why? Right? Why? It's mainly because they don't have the structure in place. And so today, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a structure. And I'm going to pull this up on my computer so that we're all on the same page, guys. Well, not me. I can't really I got to give credit because Alex is a beast. Alex has been with me longer than any virtual assistant has ever been with me. She is my executive administrator for every business that I have, guys. Round of applause to my good friend Alex for being on this call. She goes by Alexi, and she is also the co-host. She made this beautiful PowerPoint presentation for both of us. So I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to share my screen, guys, so that we can go over this. All right. First and foremost, I want to break down dispo for everybody here because disposition is a business, guys, and business in real estate. There's like six components, okay? There's six components to how you do business. What does that look like for everybody here? Guys, it starts with number one, prospecting. That's you getting your leads, right? You're getting your leads and you're qualifying them. You're creating a list. You're stacking leads together. Now, again, there's a difference between a prospect and a lead. Who knows what the difference is? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going to explain it anyway, but I'm kind of interested in seeing how much you guys know. Who knows the difference between a prospect and a lead? Prospect, lead, two entirely different things. Drop the answer in the comment section if you get an idea of what I'm going at here. A prospect, for you guys that don't know, is someone who has potential. And so it starts with prospecting. A lead is someone that you've qualified already. This is an individual that has created an intent with you. They said, oh, okay, Hillary Cotton, she reached out to me. I'm interested in selling my property. She already qualified me. Or Michael, right? Michael over here, let's saying, hey, Michael, I got your text. I'm texting you back because I'm interested in selling my house. See, that's a qualified lead. That's somebody who's ready and willing. A prospect, exactly, Mr. Cameron. That is somebody who's ready and willing, and a prospect is somebody who may have the potential. And so it starts with prospecting. From prospecting, it goes to marketing. And what are we doing in marketing? We are qualifying prospecting data and we're qualifying them to produce and curate actual motivated seller leads, right? And so again, it goes from marketing it goes from prospecting to marketing. Everybody understand this? Prospecting, marketing. Once you get to marketing, now it's about the vetting process. Guys, right now the average is 5 to 1. So 5 leads means you get 1 contract. And so you can already tell where I'm going with this. It's a volume-based business. So then your goal is to qualify as many leads as possible. If you get 5 people who are interested in selling, then the goal is to get one. Just one of these people is all you need. Now, this is the caveat to that. It's 3 to 1. 3 contracts to get 1 closing, average assignment fee based from actual statistics. I'm telling you guys this is never from theory. Just so everybody understands this, if I ever teach, I'm teaching from fact. I'm teaching from experience, okay? I don't ever feed you guys any BS statistics that you can Google online. This is stuff that I've tracked with actual key performance indicators within my company. Where I mean, I could pull my curtain back and show you guys my whole real estate operation, and it would blow your mind what we're tracking. But the average assignment fee with over 1,000 real estate deals on my belt closing is $17,000. So that's the amount of money that you could potentially make per deal closed. But that means that you have to qualify 15 leads to get 3 contracts, and 3 contracts means one $17,000 assignment fee. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get paid right away. Who here understands what a cash conversion cycle is? Who here knows what that is? Cash conversion cycle. I'm talking big words now, okay? Cash conversion cycle is the time frame of when money is being spent to when it comes back. That's the cash conversion cycle. Now it takes time, right? What we think of when we think of a wholesale deal, most of you guys just are looking at the money that's coming in. That's just all of us, right? Who here has bills? I got bills. I don't know about y'all, but since I've made money, the living has gotten more expensive. And the economy paired up with that ain't really on my side. You get what I'm saying? Kind of dumb to have a bunch of nice things and then have to pay for them every month. That's just the reality of it, right? So again, when you get your deals closed, that time frame from the moment that you find the lead to when it gets closed, average is 90 days, y'all. And that's what the whole company. It could be more than that. I say all of this to motivate everybody here who's in this call today. And we've already hit capacity. I'm only letting 100 people in here, y'all. This is crazy. We're at capacity right now. Alex, if you could please pull out your phone and take a freaking recording of this. If y'all can just can y'all just screenshot this real fast while I'm flexing, please? Somebody take a picture real quick. This has not happened in a while where we literally hit capacity. I'm flexing. Please screenshot this. Tag your boy. Everybody that tags your boy, I'll give you all of my cold calling scripts for free. Tag me on Instagram, Facebook, and the Facebook group. Tag me on whatever, guys. It's at Real Quentin Flores. I would appreciate y'all just for giving me love. But the cash conversion cycle being 90 days, 90 days, right? Guys, that means you shouldn't be looking at your business by the month. You should be looking at your business by the quarter. That's where most people that I meet that get into this industry get burned out because you're looking at what you can bring in every month. Guys, every month ain't gonna happen. I promise you this. This is coming from somebody who had 40 freaking people, butts and seats, had over 18 different computers, 4 different departments in my real estate business, a CEO, a COO, CFO, every type of OO that you can think of, your boys had. Okay. And with this structure, I was pumping $100,000 a month in overhead, barely making $150,000 a month every freaking month. That's it. But we were looking at the quarters. So every $150,000 profit was what I was making off a 90-day time period. I'm letting you guys know this because these figures are some things that I wish I would have known at the beginning. Okay. We're moving our way to dispo. I want y'all to know that's where we're going. All right. So from marketing to acquisition, now we have contracts, right? Now we have contracts. The goal to get these things to close is now moving into the next phase of this, the organizational part, which is typically your CRM or whatever database you're using to track all of these things. That, my friends, is nerd work. Luckily, your boy's played Magic the Gathering most of his life. I'm actually a pro Magic the Gathering player, guys. I also play the crap out of Pokemon trading card game. Putting pieces together is something that I've always loved to do, man. Your boy was in the chess club, okay, looking like a gangster in high school, playing against Asian kids that were like 10 times smarter than me. I may have been failing school and dropping out ninth grade, but boy, I will run circles around people in chess. If you guys ever want to play me, I'd love to add you guys. I've been playing chess on the Nintendo Switch too. I just got the Nintendo Switch. Been playing Mario Kart with my son. Anyways, to go back to this, right? The organizational part is putting pieces together. That's all it is. Because the main things that we look for in real estate are 3 different things. And I'm going to help you guys out with what those things are, what those 3 things are before we move to dispo. This is all introduction stuff. And then I'm going to break down dispo like you've probably never seen it before. The 3 things that you need to track. What is your cost per lead? How much money are you spending per lead that comes in? Number 2, your cost per contract. How much money are you spending per contract? And then number 3, your cost per deal closed. We call it CPD, cost per deal. This is when you make money. How much money did you spend to make one deal close? These metrics are so important, bro. Guys, I'm telling y'all, metrics are so important, okay? You can't scale something if you've never measured it. How do you, what's the first thing that your trainer tells you to do when you go to the gym? Hey, my friend, can you do me a favor and step on a scale? Why? Because he's measuring where you're at now. I'm not going to get into the intricacies of it, but guys, I spent 3 years in the gym forcing myself, not realizing all of the internal problems that I had. It wasn't until I looked at my body's KPIs that I finally saw a change. There used to be a 448-pound man that was standing behind this computer today. And today I weigh 250 pounds, y'all. It's actually heavier than I've been because I've been at 220 for quite some time. But I'm eating 6 times a day right now. I got a whole fridge filled with freaking.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. I got a whole fridge filled with meal preps in here. And I'll tell you, man, like I'm eating 5 times a day and I'm working on my strength. This is all post heart attack, which is crazy. Now, the KPIs, thank you, man. I appreciate you for recognizing that. It means a lot to me. Out of everything I've ever done, that's one of the things that I'm most proud of. Guys, if you can lose weight, you can build $1 million business. I promise you this. I built $1 million business when I was fat and disgusting. I never in a million years, dude, I tell you, like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, going to the gym and killing yourself is one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And actually submitting to Jesus. I used to use God to get people to like me legitimately. Like, I'll say that openly with vanity because that's what I thought people wanted to see from me. Now I don't give a crap because I love Jesus. And I'll shout that at the top of my lungs anywhere that I go. And I know that,
Soldier.
but I'm
Amen.
real. Thank you, brother. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just being real. The old version of Q was full of ego, man. And let me tell you guys that are here, ego is not your enemy. I'm a student too. I'm a freaking student. I'm not willing to learn. Okay, so I hope all of you guys are also students of the game. No matter what you're learning, whether it's faith, family, fitness, and finance, those are the four cores, the four pillars to a great life. So going into this part, right? We understand what those metrics are. If we spent 10,000, if we get a deal close 10,000 and we spent 3,000, right? The metrics are very simple. Our cost per deal is $3,000. That's number one, right? Let's say we got 3 contracts out of that. Then our cost per contract was $1,000. And let's say that came from 10 leads. Then you take 3,000 and you divide that by 10. And now you have your metrics. Those are the things that you need, guys. Guys, whatever you do in the industry it's irrefutable. The input will always match the output. I know so many people that put 60% into the company and wonder why they're not making money. Like, that's the reality of it. You can't just do this business on a hustle. You got to track what you're doing so that you can scale it. Once you have actual tangible numbers in front of you, once you have actual tangible numbers in front of you, then you can judge the amount of money that you need to spend, the amount of time that you need to invest. All of these things are very important metrics. Now, moving into this, once everything's tracked, you should have contracts, right? Acquisition process is done. The tracking process is done. We have all of our follow-ups, all of our tasks, everything's organized. We're looking at this now. We can see our business begin to materialize in front of us, kind of like an actual soul, like a person. And we're just feeding it like our baby every day, right? Now, this, my friends, is the next part of the business, and this is disposition. Now, disposition, you know what's crazy about these 6 pillars? And I'm just going to go over them one more time: prospecting, marketing, acquisition, CRM, dispo, transaction coordination, and then the last one, which is your numbers. It's the money, it's the machine, it's your KPIs. So that's it. Those are the 6 components to a real estate company. It always blows my mind because each of these components that make your business tick, they're all businesses, bro. How many of you guys know a company where you can buy leads that are prospects right now? That's a business. How many of you guys know marketing companies? I own one. I own a virtual staffing company. If you guys need VAs, I got you. And that's another thing too, right? So there's the VA company. That's a marketing business, dog. I'm here to help you market for finding more motivated seller leads. The third one, acquisition. Come on, guys. We're all in there. Think all of us are making offers. How many of you guys are making offers on properties? I just want to know. I want to make sure that nobody's alone here, right? And we're all kind of on the same page. I'm making an offer. I don't know about y'all. I just made 2 earlier. I got a deal that I'm trying to close in Detroit that's like a $300,000 spread that I'm going through hell and high water for. I have to reverse a foreclosure. I had to perform a probate. We ended up doing an affidavit of heirship. I had to get the taxes on a payment plan, get the family back the property. Now I'm filing an eviction against the house. Once I get the tenants out of it, be able to make almost $300,000 on one property. That's how crazy this business can be. So we're all in acquisition, right? And how many people you guys know that have a CRM? Alex, if you want, go ahead and drop the link to our CRM. I created my own because I got pissed about everybody else's and how crappy they were. So I made my own. It's called Jarvis. And Jarvis is great, justjarvis.com. You guys can save that link if you're interested in getting a CRM. This thing does everything for you, and it utilizes AI automation, a bunch of stuff. Now, guys, going in to dispo, I'm telling y'all, this is where deals die. And it's because of 2 things. Number one, you either didn't structure the property correctly and you got the deal too high. I told anybody that's ever worked in my office before, man, I said, if you got to force a deal, it ain't a deal. I don't talk to people who want to sell, talk to people who need to sell. That's the difference. You guys see the difference? Because anybody could want to sell. You guys can make me an offer on my property right now. Guys, this is a $575,000 house I'm living in. Yeah, I'll take it. You want to pay $575 for it? Go on ahead. Come through. You see the difference? Now, what if I was like, hey, Michael Doherty, my man, hey, dude, this house, bro, I can't afford it anymore. I'm behind 5 months on the mortgage, right? My father just passed away. On top of that, I got to pay for funeral expenses. He left me with like $150,000 worth of debt. I'm willing to sell this thing at 60 cents on the dollar. I need money like yesterday. See the difference? That's somebody who needs to sell. When you're marketing to people who need to sell, well, there's really not a bunch of negotiation. It's just a bunch of problem solving. I say this in every single call, and I want it to bleed into your mind so that you never look at this business the same. Guys, in this business, we don't buy houses, we buy problems. We buy problems. We solve problem. We find problem, solve problem, get paid. Somebody repeat this in the comments. Find problem, solve problem, get paid. One more time, because everybody needs to know we ain't lowballing nobody. We're making honest offers based on situational aspects to one piece of distressed real estate. That's what we're doing. So it's find problem, solve problem, get paid. I can't stand when somebody doesn't perform the service, bro, and they want to flex making a $20,000 deal. We just took the last bit of money that somebody could have used for the worst situation in their life. We don't do that. The people I deal business with, they need to sell their property. Matter of fact, they wouldn't have been able to sell it without me because these problems that are associated with the house, judgments, removing those, liens, removing those, affidavits of heirship, fixing those, probate, filing those. We're taking the properties that most investors don't want to take and we're cleaning them up so that we can make sure that we have a deal to present. That's what we get paid for. All right. So if you got a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 fee, boy, you better have a level 10 problem in front of you that you solve to justify that amount of money. That's how you do legit business. Because let me tell you what, when you do great by someone, that one person is going to go and tell a million different people about you because you were there for them in a situation that they didn't know how to get out of. That's what it is to be in wholesaling. That's what I was taught at the beginning. I just feel right now we're just in such a weird place in the industry. It's being flooded. We got all these guys that are giving out free education, but they're not teaching it right. They're not teaching it right. They're talking about lowballing people, putting people lower than they need to be to increase their assignment fees. Bro, we don't do business like that. We find people who actually want to sell that have level 10 problems that need our help. And we solve those problems to justify the amount of money that we're going to make on these houses, man, because they wouldn't be able to do it without you. That's how we make money, okay? Because I want everybody here to sleep at night. I just hope that y'all understand what I'm talking about, okay? I promise you this, the business feels great when you're doing it on kingdom principles, okay? When you're doing God's work through your business, you will be able to just walk away from everything and sleep at night. And I can't tell you what a good night's sleep will do to a great person, man. All right. You'll be more energized, be more ready and motivated to go and take it on the next day. Now, going into disposition. Disposition is a whole business model. I can tell you this because I've literally moved portfolios of properties from people that I've worked with, just like you guys today, right? I've gotten through the whole notion of creating an actual business out of dispo, which is two things. You know, I have a good friend. His name's Jamil Damji. I always try to give him his flowers. Who knows Jamil, right? I love his videos, man. The guy's freaking funny. And I've gotten a chance to share stages with him and my other good friend, Pace. I love them both to death. They have unique business models, right? Jamil talks about astro flipping, which is literally just JVing. That's it. Your marketing isn't to motivated sellers anymore. It's to potential partners. And this platform I'm going to be showing you guys today is something that y'all can actually do. You can partner with people and list their properties. So I'm going to go over Dispo for you guys today, and we're going to break this down in layman's terms so that everybody here understands this process. And if there's any holes in it at all that you have going on, I hope to patch them today with this presentation that I'm going to be showing for you guys here now. And again, guys, you know, let's give a shout out to Alex because she created the art for this. This is Dispo made simple. I'm going to go through this about halfway through, and I have a really good friend that I'm going to introduce y'all to today who's going to blow your mind with something that, I mean, legitimately just blew my mind earlier this week. And I'm just really excited to show, it was earlier last week. I'm really excited to show you guys what this looks like. But this is Dispo made simple. So how do you move deals faster and smarter? What does this look like? Well, first and foremost, disposition, aka dispo, is the process of selling or assigning a real estate contract to an end buyer. Typically, somebody who's willing to purchase the property cash, maybe they're using hard money, some form of financing, but they're typically trying to buy one of your dilapidated, distressed, abandoned houses at a specific buying formula. We get multiple different types of buyers in this situation. These types of buyers can be people that are buying a property to buy and hold. I love selling to those guys because they typically buy at 85 to 89 cents on the dollar, being real. I tell you guys this because a lot of times when you're able to structure a deal as a rental property, you can increase the amount of money that you're going to make where the seller walks away with a bigger chunk and you walk away with a bigger chunk as well. It's a win-win scenario. Top of that, somebody who's buying a property typically for passive income purposes, they're buying it different. They're not buying it to make a huge amount of equity up front. They're buying it to replace their income. So I like selling to somebody who's like, I don't know, say it's like a guy who owns a law firm, right? He has his own practice, has a huge 401k. He's trying to buy a bunch of properties so that he can delegate his law firm to someone else and he can live off of the passive income from all of his rental properties that are coming in. He doesn't care to make a bunch of equity. He just wants the passive. So if the house has a cash on cash return of 20% or more, or it's making a cap rate of 13, 12%, guys, this is great positive cash flow. That equates to almost $250 to $500 to $600 a month in passive income. If I just get 20 of those, I don't really have to work my job as an attorney anymore. I can retire and do what I'd like. So there you have it. You have the buy and hold investor. Then you have the creative investor. That's the guy that's like, hey, I'll tell you what, Mary, if you go over there and you offer terms to that person, I'd be willing to buy that property if you can convince them to sell it to me on terms and I'll cut you a fee out of the deal. How many guys know somebody who's willing to buy a creative finance deal wholesale from you? Those are the creative buyers, right? And how many guys know someone who's willing to buy subject to deals from you? If you got them in San Antonio, I'm your guy. I buy subject twos, literally just closed on one this month already, guys. I start rehab on it Monday next week. So guys, I have properties that I'm working on as well. So guys, I buy sub two deals all day. That's your creative buyer. Your creative buyer is somebody who's willing to work with you. And if you're able to structure terms, then you could get a deal across the table. A lot of people don't know these things, all right? Now we have the third type of buyer. Third type of buyer is typically your fix and flip, very cookie cutter. They buy at 70 cents on the dollar, sometimes 65, sometimes 60 cents. Obviously, a flipper wants to make as much money as humanly possible, considering that they're taking on the whole house. They feel entitled to it. They're like, this guy's trying to make this amount of money off of me, but I'm going to be the one to take the risk in buying the property and flipping on it. Well, good luck. Kudos to you. Just go and find your own house if you want to pay my fee, right? So when you think about this type of transaction, they buy at 70 cents on the dollars minus repairs, right? Then you have your unorthodox buyer. I call these guys like hedge fund buyers. I also call them average people buyers, okay? Because they're either one of the two. This is a guy that's willing to buy a property from you and they just want to buy it. They just want to buy it. They don't really want to do anything else to it. It's somebody who's just like buying properties, okay? They're not buying houses that way. Then you have somebody who represents a large amount of money. I mean, I don't know where you guys are from, but a lot of times the money comes from Mexico here in Texas. I'm turning the other cheek on that, but I'm telling you guys right now, it's like that, okay? So you get people that are trying to purchase properties that represent a large amount of money that don't even care what you're asking, they'll just buy it, okay? Unorthodox buyers, very hard to find. If you guys got one, I want you to understand, you need to milk that opportunity and like nurture that relationship as hard as you can. When I first got into the game, y'all, about 2.5 years in, I was flipping a house already. And on this house that I was flipping, somebody broke into my unit. And when they broke into my unit, let me tell you what, they stole my freaking AC, they stole my sinks, and they stole my granite countertop slabs. They took everything. And I was just like, out of that amount of money, bro, it was like $13,000 in material. I thought my contractor stole it. My contractor was like, dude, I'll tell you what, I have a friend of mine that you need to meet. He does exactly what you do. I said, okay, cool. I'd love to meet this guy. So I went over to the office and he had extra granite. He had extra sinks. He had extra AC unit, everything I needed at wholesale. I got all the material back for half the amount of money that I spent. I would have gotten him in the first place if I knew about him. But when I met him and I sat down with him, this gentleman's name was Aaron Pfeiffer. God rest his soul. He died of stomach cancer 3 years ago. This was one of my first mentors in real estate. Okay. This is what you call an unorthodox buyer. Aaron Pfeiffer, his grandpa founded First American Title. You guys know who that title company is? First American is one of the largest nationwide title companies that exist. They're a franchise opportunity. The people who own it corporate wise have a license to distribute title policies throughout all of America, all of the United States. Guys, this company is a multi-billion-dollar company in which he inherited a portion of his grandfather's estate. This gentleman, okay, did not tell me that he was dying of stomach cancer. I didn't even know why, but he would just tell me to send him everything I had. I would walk into his office and he'd be like, "How much do you want to make on this one today, Q?" He wouldn't even care if I had clean title. He would just tell me to bring the seller and to have her sign a deed. That's it. He would sign the deed over and he'd pay me 20 grand per property. Some of them were some of the worst houses I've ever seen. Like, I'm talking about ghetto, broke down project type properties that no one would buy. And he was buying them. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I asked him what his strategy was, and he said, "Q, they ain't making any more of these. My plan is to buy as many of them as I can." Little did I know he was facing a disease and he was trying to build an estate, and my guy could see in the future. He was 4 years older than I am today. I think he was 40 when he passed away. But when I met him, he was about to be 38, 37. And I, my friends, was barely 26 years old in the game, getting off at the ground, learning this stuff. So, guys, this is somebody that you would consider an unorthodox buyer. Because of Aaron, I was able to flip multiple houses that year because he lent me money to do it. And I sold probably 200 properties to him. And 2017 was the first year that I ever cleared $1 million wholesaling real estate by myself with one buyer. So those are the four different types of investors that exist. They're out there. It's imperative that you understand the way that they buy. I always tell anybody that I meet, especially in wholesaling real estate, you can't be a one-trick pony, bro. I'm sorry, but if the only way that you're analyzing deals is 70 cents on the dollar every single time, you're leaving out so much. Now, some of you guys might say, "Well, Q, I'm just a wholesaler." You limit yourself when you say that. You know that? How many here just wants to be a wholesaler for the rest of their life? Dude, not me. Not me. I'll tell you what, man, I have 44 properties that I own, okay? Couple multifamily units. I'm flipping properties every other month. I'm buying these bad boys. I'm doing that because I started out wholesaling and I used the capital and I invested it back into things that made me more money. Most people blow their first bag on stuff they never had. I'll tell you what, man, when God blesses you with that amount of money, he gonna humble you too. He gonna test you. He gonna say, "Let's see if he can handle that." And if you lose it, well, then it wasn't meant for you, but you gain a lesson from that. God giveth, God taketh away, right? Book of Job, we all remember that. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And so as we progress through this time frame, when it comes to dispo, does everybody understand the four different types of buyers that exist? Now, there are others, but those are the ones that typically pertain to single family homes. Okay. So it's imperative to know who your real estate investors are and how they buy properties. I want you guys to all understand the better that you get at analyzing deals and breaking them down, which I'm probably going to do a whole masterclass on. You guys think I should do that? I don't know. We can underwrite a bunch of deals from commercial, industrial, we could do land, we could do ranches, we could do single family, multifamily, duplex, triplex, which actually fall under single family, which people don't know, but 5 meters is what equals a apartment complex. My mind will start running. Guys, I'm somewhat of like an ADHD dude, so bring me back if I come off topic, okay? But ADHD is a gift. It is a gift. Just have to know how to use it. All right. So again, that's disposition. It's knowing who your investor matters. Now, who your investor is. Why does it matter? Because dispo is the final step before getting paid. It's where most deals fall apart due to lack of systems or what I talked about, lack of relationships. Guys, dispo is a marketing business too, man, because you should not just be talking to your buyers like, "Hey, can you buy me out a real estate deal?" No, you say, "Hey, bro, I'm finding properties like this, bar none. 9 times out of 10, each one 50 cents on the dollar." What if we were to partner? You're positioning yourself. It's not just about sending out a deal, it's about positioning and relationships. Guys, opportunity will meet you at your knowledge level. Okay. So I want y'all to think smarter. I want you guys to just think that you got to sell your deals all of the time. What if you were to partner with your buyer? What if they were to fund your marketing? What if they were to put their money behind your operation? Oh, I know I'm talking to somebody. Does that sound interesting to somebody? Come on, man. Drop a one in the comments. That's a whole nother way that you can scale your business. Because what's the most reason why a lot of you guys fail is because you run out of capital, right? I'm going to have to do a whole nother sermon on this, man, but we're going to move on, guys. Acquisition versus disposition. Acquisition, hunting. You find distressed properties that are off market. Disposition, matchmaking. Boy, you're like a match made in heaven. You are connecting the right opportunity to the right opportunity buyer. That's what this looks like, okay? And so what makes a strong dispo foundation? What does this look like? Number one, clarity. Just like what Alex did for me today, you need a clean presentation. I hope you guys kind of get the gist. My whole brand's called Cheat Code. As a matter of fact, I have a private community where I do calls like this every single week. Alex, drop the link. It's free for the next 7 days. Everybody who signs up gets a copy of my free real estate courses and also a copy of my scripts, which you guys get for free, even if you decide to cancel. I don't care. All I'm saying is get your butts in there. Alex, drop the link to the private community in there. Guys, number one, you need a clean presentation. We need to know what the market looks like. We need comparables to back that. We need an actual rehab estimate. We need photos in every single angle, bro. I'm telling you guys right now, if the freaking house had nalgas, we need that in every camera angle. Not only that, we also need to understand the title of the property. By this time frame, when we are pitching our deal, we should already have clear title, which is a whole nother story, whole nother presentation. So number two, we need trust. Buyers need to trust you and your deals. Guys, you know why a lot of wholesalers get wiped out? It's because they post crappy deals. I'm telling you guys, how many of y'all seen them? Come on, everybody here's inside of Wholesaling Houses Elite Freedom, right? I own the group. I bought it from my friend, and he trusted me with leading you guys. I hope I'm doing a great job in this, and I really hope that y'all are really enjoying this, right? Like honestly, this is, just it's fun to me. I love hanging out with y'all, so I hope y'all don't mind. And if I'm going off topic, I'm sorry. This is fun. Going into this, right? A lot of people aren't posting good deals, and that's why they don't sell. I'd rather send my deals to a trusted individual that I know that's buying them consistently before I ever put a property on the market, before I ever decide to list a house. So understand that, right? Your deals die if they are crappy deals with crappy presentations, with wrong rehab estimates. We want to be sure. Number three is speed. Fast response equals more deals closed. Guys, you want your buyers to be on you like white on rice in the middle of a snowstorm on a white paper plate on top of a pile of cocaine. I'm just being honest, all right? That's a lot of white on white on white on white. You want your buyers to be messaging you because they're so happy with the amount of money that they're making on your real estate deals that you are just the guy that they want to talk to. You're the gal that they want to reach out to when they want to make money. When you have that, you have speed. And your clients will be happy because you know for a fact you ain't gonna lie to them anymore. You ain't gotta say, oh, we need 30 days to close. When you have a strong buyer, you can close in 24 hours. You can close in 48 hours. You have a strong title company and a strong buyer. So fast response equals more deals closed. Then number four, your system. Now, manual blasts don't scale, y'all. I'm telling you guys right now, this process needs to be automated. Jarvis does that for you. But I'm going to show you guys something today that's going to automate the process even further. And so again, manual blast, if you're still sending them out email by email, taking all of your buyers' information, tossing them into Google, Gmail, and then sending it all to them, like, dude, I'm sorry, but that's not a foundation. That's not where your business is going to grow. You have to have a systematic approach to how this works. Okay. So building your buyer network is a combination of two things. It's a combination of marketing and a combination of product. Guys, if you have a great product, what does SPM say? I hate to quote the guy because I know he's in prison for some crazy stuff, but he says, "Dope sell itself, so my CD steady pressing. You can't see me, I flow so freely." Right? Anyways, going back to that, it's one of my favorite songs, by the way. But dope sells itself, right? So if you have great deals, then the buyers are going to follow regardless. When you have dope deals, buyers want to buy dope properties and they're making dope profits, right? Now, what if you guys had access to a pool of investors that were ready to do this, that were willing, and they were open market? They weren't just literally buyers that we can find on the internet or people that we can meet in person, but they're buying on the MLS now. Guys, did y'all know that statistically, buyers are buying more aggressively on the MLS than they are from wholesalers? Guys, I read an article from Bigger Pockets the other day that talked about novation, right? Now, novation is the act of taking a property and partnering with your homeowner and listing the property for sale for a fee, right? And so that's a strategy now that's being adopted that's starting to become more popular, being that finding deals is scarce, finding good buyers is even more scarce. And it starts with understanding this concept and this process, okay? Number one, it's about quality, not quantity. We go for verified buyers who close, not just small email scrapers that respond to your email. A lot of you guys might not know this, but the majority of the buyers lists that are out there are all wholesalers. Legitimately, you'll send a deal out to somebody and they're going to pose as a buyer and they're going to lie to you because that's just this industry and that's where we're at apparently with the amount of freaking wholesalers that are out here. And they'll try to send your property off to their buyers and double wholesale your wholesale. Guys, I'm not trying to wholesale my property to somebody who's trying to wholesale my property for a wholesale fee to a wholesaler. You see what I'm saying? It's like a wholesale assumption. And it's just crazy. It's like a funnel now. It's something that's very common. But we want to connect with people that are buying right now. And how do we do that? Number one, we can look up public records, cash transactions. You can find this all over the county. You guys get access to your county, it's all there for you. Facebook groups, even school communities, maybe something like Dispo Labs, right? Local Real Estate Investor Association. Every now and then, title companies will give you a list of people that are buying properties. Zillow for rent listings, landlords, auction buyers, they're everywhere, right? They're everywhere. But we got to talk to them not just like we're selling them a real estate deal, but we're talking to them more like a partner. What do you buy? What's your price point? What zip codes? Rehab or turnkey, timeline to close, tag, organize that in your CRM, or you could do this inside of your platform, right? And so, guys, there are tools to use to build and track your buyers. So I know that you guys have been seeing this gentleman here, right? Look at this guy. He's honestly, this is probably the best form of animation. The theme for what I do is always Matrix related, okay? So that's where we're at right now. But this is my friend Cameron Miller. And guys, he developed a platform that I'm going to introduce to you guys today that's going to blow your mind. As far as sending emails, tracking open click replies, text plus phone, direct contact, series buyers, spreadsheets, short term, CRM is be long term. That's what you guys are needing. And this is where I'm going to introduce my good friend Cameron Miller to the stage to talk about his platform, which is a Privy private listing network. Cameron, everybody here, guys, my buddy Cameron's taking some time out of his day to be a part of this call with us. If y'all can give my boy a round of applause. Guys, this is my good friend Cameron Miller. Cameron, introduce yourself to the entire audience, my friend.
Appreciate it, Q. What's up, guys? My name's Cameron Miller. I own the Privy Listing Network, or we refer to it as the PLN. So I'm going to take a couple minutes. I'll try not to, drag it out too long. I'm not going to be as good at this as Q is, but I'll give you a good rundown of what the network is, why you need it, and why I think it's going to be the next big thing of wholesaling, to be honest with you. Q, will it let me do a quick little screen share?
Of course. Here, I'm going to give you the screen share option now. Guys, this is awesome. Cam might not be crazy motivational speaker, but he's speaking from years of experience. This is somebody who is a big player in the Kentucky market, and he's doing this nationwide now. And I'm going to show you guys something really cool today. All right. So pay attention. This is a professional talking. I'm telling you right now, I put my name against everything that he's doing for the community right now. This is huge, and we're partnering to really deliver this thing to you guys. This is going to be super awesome, and it's free 99. So take a look at this. It's super awesome. All right.
All right, so I'll get started here. So the Privy Listing Network, here's the concept that we're all shooting for. We talked about earlier how basically, you've got 4 different types of buyers. The problem is it's hard to find all 4 all the time when you're running your business, right? To me, acquisitions and dispositions is almost 2 entirely different businesses. And don't get me wrong, you can crush both, but it's really hard to crush both all the time. So we chose to really focus on that disposition side, right? And the way we've done that is by creating a network, not just a platform, not just a software, but an actual network. Anybody in here agree that network is your net worth? Right?
Mm,
Can I get a 1 there? I mean,
amen.
the story with
Amen.
you, right? What can you imagine having one buyer bringing in $1 million in assignment fees, right? Well, how many relationships you got to run into to get that one, right? That's what we got to get you to do, is run into more to get to that one. So let me go through what exactly the PLN is. So the PLN is actually a private listing network. So the easiest way to think about a PLN is it's essentially a private MLS, right? So you can't get in unless you're invited somehow, some way, right? And so what we did in the past was only real estate agents were invited. And we were doing that in central Kentucky, and basically demand just blew up. All of a sudden we had tons of wholesalers hitting us up. I own a brokerage in 4 different states now, and all these wholesalers were hitting us up saying, man, I wish we could get deals to your network and you could help us move them, right? So now this is actually starting today. We're going to open that floodgate, right? But previously it was just a private listing network where basically wholesalers could now bring their deals, and without us taking a cut of the assignment fee, since we're actually a real estate brokerage as well, We'll get to that in a little bit later. But we're going to be able to move your deal to our network of agents and those other three types of buyers without ever touching your fee. Let's move forward. So right here, we're talking about the network equals network, or network equals net worth. So let me explain this a little bit. I'm going to illustrate this almost like a snowball, right? So what I'm going to show you is how just using our free version here, the concierge service, it's not going to cost you a dime. And what I'm going to show you is how we're going to grow your net work and your net worth probably faster than you ever thought it was possible. So let me explain how the network works. Basically, whenever we got all these agents, we gave them the ability to add their buyers, right? So these buyers are hungry buyers, but they're used to only buying on the MLS. And what we did was we made their real estate agent look like a superstar. So now they're the superstar that can get them stuff on the MLS and off the MLS, right? Because that's what the investors really wanted. How did we do that? Well, you guys, right? And so what I want to illustrate here is how that snowball effect takes rolling down the hill. So if a Privy agent adds one buyer, right? You see that on the illustration? And then the next Privy agent adds 50, the next 20, and then we have over 1,800 agents now in the network already. If you were to add all those agents up together, or all those buyers up together, you're going to be over 9,000 buyers. Most wholesalers maybe have 100 actual buyers instead of just going somewhere and getting 100 pieces of data, right? A bunch of skip trace stuff that you're going through on Investor Lift or Investor Base or whatever you're doing, right? So now add that we're going to allow wholesalers to get on the platform and add the other 5,000 buyers, or convince Q to blast all his buyers, right? Do anybody want access to Q's buyer list that he's already got a relationship with? Well, this is basically going to allow that snowball to roll, right? So what we're going to do is help you guys leverage all the big wholesalers buyers, all the medium-sized wholesalers buyers, and all the real estate agents buyers, right? We've got hedge funds that are registered on this network, and they're waiting literally just to have one of their W-2 staffed guys just log into the network and see what's new. So as you can tell, the big difference is if you were to go blast it on your own, you might have 100 buyers. Let's say you have 5,000 buyers, whatever. You're going to do that through an email blast. I don't care how good you are, you're never going to beat the collective, right? You are still just one. And so what we're doing is we're leveraging the collective with the network. Over 1,800 Privy agents now are opted into our program, our network. And basically the reason is because we give them consistent flow of off-market property to look like Superman to their buyers, right? So they consistently look like a superhero. They got something to brag about, something to boast about, and then they end up closing more deals because of it, because they can be the top investor agent in their network. So I'm not going to play this video, but basically, just for the sake of time, this video is something you can find on our YouTube playlist. We can drop that later, but it's going to give you a little peek behind the curtain on how the network actually works, the actual software behind it, and why it's built to leverage the way it is. Let me skip through real quick. So this is what it looks like whenever you're actually able to get in. So this is what we're doing for you, right? We've got actual MLS grade filters and search. So this is really better than Zillow search filters, in my opinion. This is what all the real estate agents are used to using. It's got every filter you can imagine. There's been a lot of time and effort put into just making sure that people can find exactly what they need, exactly when they need it. And what's going to happen is they're going to be able to set up a save search. You can see this little button right here in the far right. And luckily, we can set those up for the lazy buyers too. So we don't have to wait for them to set it up. We can actually set it up for them based on their buying criteria. So a lot of people may not understand why that matters. But let's say that you're moving a couple deals a month and you've got however many buyers on your list, but none of them actually want to buy in that zip code. You can either segregate every single type of property within your MailChimp and how you're going to send who what, or they can just simply have a actual MLS grade tool that only sends them notifications and emails when something actually hits their buy box, which means now they pay more attention. Anybody ever had buyers say, "Oh man, you send me all this crap that I'm not interested in"? That's what we kept hearing, right? So this was a way to basically be able to filter to that. So when they do get a notification and email from you, they actually look at it, right? There's so many big wholesalers out there that would do so much better if they didn't already wear out their buyer base. Their buyer base got exhausted by looking at all the deals that wasn't applicable. Well, we've removed that fatigue completely, right? So you'll see here basically on the network, you'll have unlimited listings. This is just some of ours that are recent. We've got 47 active. I think this screenshot was taken just by one of our one member that had 47 deals active. Probably, I want to say that was last week. So there's no limitation on it, and it's most of these, of course, in Kentucky because that's where our member was. But there's no restrictions on where you can go. Now, one big way that I wanted to show you guys of how to be able to build this buyers list with our network is you will automatically, if you're in the network, you will automatically get essentially a marketing tool where all you got to do is share this link and you all can actually type that in and check it out yourself. And if you do, you can add yourself to Hunter. That's one of our in-house guys. And you can experience as the buyer what it would be like if your buyer signed up for free. So you could click that right now just to see what it's like and be able to tour as if you were a buyer, what that would look like. Set up a safe search. Maybe you are a buyer on this Zoom and you want to make sure that if you can catch a flip somewhere, this is a good way to do it right here. Because if anything comes on the network in the next week that you want to take a look at and you have a safe search up through this portal right here, then you're going to know about it. You're also going to be able to get buyer insights, right? So if you're in the network, you're actually going to be able to see what have these buyers been doing. So this is as granular as a specific buyer went and looked at this page and this page and this page that's this many views and this many times. You're going to be able to say, what did they do? Oh, they kind of fell off after Sunday. What's up with that? Maybe I need to follow up with them. So you get super granular data here, guys, right? So if you're in the network, you're going to get access to that. You also have a direct messaging platform, which means you don't have to spend more money on either another business phone or you don't have to spend more money on your CRM blasting these texts, right? So you can actually message them directly through here. And what's going to matter is they have a mobile app. So all these buyers are feeling like they're working with a real professional here because they're able to download this mobile app and chat completely through the system. I don't even think you can do that with Zillow, right? So I don't even know, honestly, if there's any other platforms that are an actual MLS grade platform that you can do that through. So the direct messaging is a big pro because you can actually share, you can even interact with a transaction coordinator. If you got someone in Zenlist that's a transaction coordinator or a lender, you can actually almost group chat them and make them step in at any moment. So pretty cool. You're going to get the landed page, the basic branded landed pages too, right? So here's what I love about this. This is probably one of my favorite features that everybody sleeps on. If you're in the network, you're going to get access to this landing page. And here's what this looks like. If Q signs up, right, Q blasts a deal, and I'm a wholesaler in Texas, and I got a good sized buyer list, but I don't have a lot to dispo. Well, Q's deal being sent is going to go out to my buyers that have a saved search, and it's going to be branded to me. So why does that matter? That means I could be broke as a joke, just have this network, get Q's deals presented to my buyers, and go to Q and say, hey, man, do you want to JV this one? Because I got 3 people that are dying to take this deal. And the good thing is it's branded to you the entire way, right? I think that that's one thing that everybody sleeps on this network that you can't do anywhere else. So the fully branded landing page, it's a little bit prettier here, but actually it has an opportunity to upgrade, and you can get this button here that goes basically directly to you, and all that chat that you saw, it's going to get directly integrated. They can sign up, they can request a tour, they can actually make an offer. Showings are automated if you use the concierge service. Let me keep moving because I know we're burning time here, Q. I don't want to use it all.
It's okay, bro. Keep
What,
going,
what,
man.
what do you guys think?
We're all
Is this stuff valuable? Anybody like it? I mean, what's up?
this.
Let me scroll through here. Let me pause and make sure we don't have any questions that I need to answer right now.
I have a question. I have one real quick. And this just I think is something for everybody. Okay, so let's say I want to list a property in my area right now, right? What all is required for me to get that listing live on this network so that it goes on the
Yep.
MLS?
Can I put a pin in it because we're going there next?
Okay, cool. Let's go. And I think that's a
Yeah.
question everybody has. Do we all have that question? I just want to know if I'm
How do
speaking
we
for.
use it?
Okay.
Somebody made a good comment, multi-market access. Yeah, nationwide. And I'm going to even one up you there beyond the multi-market access. I don't include it in this presentation, but if you are a licensed real estate agent and you're a member of multiple MLSs, you can actually add your MLS if they will participate to this platform, and it will actually sync and search both at the same time. So you'd be able to search your local MLS and the private listing network at the same time, as will your buyers be able to. So you can literally take the data from your MLS and be able to feed that to your buyers too if you're a licensed agent that's doing some wholesaling. All right, let me move forward. So yeah, long story short, on the basic level, you get limited buyers, but on the upgraded level, you're able to get unlimited buyers. The big thing that I think everybody forgets about that's important though is these push notifications. So I'm going to share a little bit of information on these push notifications with you. Right, your buyer is going to be able to download an app, and instead of just getting emailed by the other 50 wholesalers that they're part of are getting on their email list, right? That gets lost, it goes to spam, whatever, right? These are actual push notifications that are just going to be branded to you whenever they receive them. They're going to open the push notification and it's going to be like, oh man, Q sent me another deal. I can't wait to check it out. Right. So big difference here. If you were to just continue to blast your MailChimp list, which there's nothing wrong with it, it works, right? If you do it enough, it works. But if you compare, the immediate visibility that you get with a push notification, the personalization that you're able to push from that, the open rates, you're talking about in some cases 4x open rate, right? That's assuming they even get the email. Because I don't know if you've ever looked at like your open rates and emails, but you ever seen how it's kind of funky, how they seem so high sometimes? Well, that's because Gmail and Apple are really good at tricking that. So, you can't even really measure it in a way that's 100% accurate. But anyways, even the click-through rate, you'll see here, email click-through hovers maybe around 3%, where a click-through rate of a push notification goes up to 10 to 28%. I'm saying stuff you already know. I just want to make sure you all know how much bigger it is. So let me keep going. Another thing to kind of show you here too is just cost. What you're going to get effectively for free. Me and Q 2 years ago would have had to pay $150 a month just to be able to email these guys. You see what I'm saying? And that's
Okay.
capped at 5,000. We're going to build this to where it's going to be 5 million. There's no
Mm.
comparison. For the amount of people that you were going to be able to get your deal in front of, it would have cost you hundreds of dollars a month. And we're going to do it with a better notification and a push notification. We're going to 100x it. There's no comparison. So in summary, I think you all get it. Push notifications are greater than email notifications, and you get that with this network totally free. I'm going to skip through some of these. You even get a buyer matching system. So it's going to alert you if you're in the network what buyers actually match, which means you click this and you start calling them, right? All right, now let me get to the best part. This is where everybody wants to be. I wanted to give you a full scope of what actually is happening in the network, right? I think everybody understands. Everybody get what's going on in the actual network, right? So how do you get it for free? And of course, the number one question we get is, how do you make money? And I'm going to tell you that because there's no reason to hide it, right? We had to go through the hoops of open brokerages for this reason. One, compliance, right? A lot of regulations coming through right now where you're going to have to get a license to be compliant unless you want to basically skirt around the whole thing, right? So we just got ahead of it. And so we said, hey, let's just start opening brokerages in multiple states, and then we'll have partners in the rest, right? So we've done that for you. And then what we're going to do is basically just give you access to all of this for free via our brokerage. And we're going to represent you, right? So we're not dipping into your assignment fee. We're simply representing you. So now your next question is, what's that going to cost me? All right. Well, the way we do that is we add a buyer's premium just like an auction, right? So we're not charging you, we're charging the buyer. Everybody follow? Right? Let me break down that math for you real quick. If you got a contract price of 180, that's what you locked up with the seller, right? You're going to move it. for 200 because we're going to get this platform blowed up, and you're going to just have so many offers. You go up to 250. I hope. I don't know. We actually had one deal 3 weeks ago that went 50K over ask because we had 3 people that were buying to potentially live in it, competing with each other. I never seen nothing like it. It blew my mind. I don't want to pretend like that's going to happen every time, but when you get the right type of buyers, that stuff does randomly pop off like that. It was crazy. But anyways, we're going to add the buyer's premium, right? That's going to be what effectively funds both us, commission, and what funds if there's a buyer's agent involved. So not only are we going to do it for free, but we're going to pay the buyer's agent out of our cut for you. If there's a buyer's agent involved, we're going to pay it out of our cut for you, right? So we're going to take care of that all in the settlement of the offers. Somebody said you could do novations on steroids with this platform. You're right. So here's how that settles out. The total contract price, because the buyer's premium is disclosed by us, is 200 plus 5%, which is a total of 210,000. You get your 20K assignment fee, which is 200 minus 180. We walk away with the premium. Some of this goes to us. Some of us goes to a buyer's agent if there's one involved, and that's it. That's simple. Can you double close? Yeah, that's going to be totally up to whatever attorney you're going to work with, or in your state for any title companies. Michael Daughtry said, any fees other than the monthly? Yes, there's a $0 fee, and we'll take away the monthly fee. So 0. All right, here we go. I'm just giving you a quick little snapshot of what that.
It blows my mind how
What?
many people just can't believe that this is free. Like, legit. Like, come on. There are people that are wanting to sign up while being on the call. Can we at least drop the link so that they can get through that while we're explaining all of this? Is that okay?
Yep. Here we go. Right here. Ready? I'm going to show you exactly what to do, and I'm going to give you the link in about 3 clicks. You're going to go to the website. You're going to scroll down to pricing, and you're going to go to free because free is better. Then you're going to schedule a call right here. This button right here is going to have you schedule a call, right? You're going to schedule that call. My boy Cannon's going to get on a call with you. You're going to sign a private listing agreement with us, which is going to be terms very favorable to you guys. It's if you find a buyer, you owe us nothing. If you want to fire us tomorrow. If you want to go hire 50 other of us, do it, right? So we're not tying you up to anything. We're saying let us be a force multiplier or don't pay us, right? We're going to set up a quick integration that we'll do that on a case-by-case process that's going to essentially send us an email or some type of alert or a form whenever you got a property that you need to move, right? And that's it. You just hired a full-time dispo team for free. You just got a full-time dispo team for no payroll. The $100,000 overhead a month that Q had, you laugh at it. And you say, man, that sucks because mine's 0, right?
Oh my God.
And then once we got that integration set up, it sends it over to us, our team, and they're going to start making calls for you. And I'll give you a little glimpse of what that looks like. So now, well, let me pause. Q, that's how you sign up. So let's see. Does Alex have the link she could drop in there? If not, I'll pull it. You're muted, Q.
Alex just dropped it now.
There we go. All right.
There's so many ways to work this. How many of y'all that have a friend that can't move a real estate deal now, that if they just listed on the MLS, they'd be so much better off? This would open up a JV department in your organization where you could potentially reach out to other wholesalers, gain their business and throw it on the MLS because you have access to a private listing network. Guys, this is insane. Like, legitimately, there is a whole nother level above this too, y'all. I know we kept on talking about free, right? And we're going to get to that here in a minute. But for my people that are serious, that want to go even further, there's something else that Cam and I wanted to talk about. Again, this is not necessary. This is already enough. But if you were to go this next level, we're only doing this for the first 100. That's it. We call this the first 100. So, Cam, I'll let you keep going with the presentation. If we're not there yet, all good. Just keep going as you were. I just want to highlight that for everybody here.
We're about to be there. So here's what we're doing. Let's say that you decide that you want to do this on your own because you got the manpower to handle it. Great. Or let's say that you want to do both. You want to have the platform to do it on your own, but you also want to leverage our manpower. Great. You can do both. So let me show you how. Number one, let me back up one step. This is just an example of what's going to happen, some details about whenever you launch a deal with us, right? This is my bare minimum. So these are some things that are happening every day, the first 15 days, whenever your deal hits our table, right? This is not exactly everything. There's some social media things that get integrated. There's some potential ad things that get integrated, but this is going to be the grunt work that you're able to avoid. We've got investor lift SOPs. We've got realtor scraping SOPs. That's outside of what already is happening in the background with the private listing network. These are all additional things that are occurring. We have call for offer systems that we're doing to make sure that we're able to get feedback. We have automated listings, automated showings. The showings are just like basically how you do in showing time, where if somebody looks at it, then they're going to actually get the ability to come in and say, oh, I think this about the property. I think that about the property. We got guys that their full-time job is just to pull feedback out of the showing, just to pull feedback out of the why didn't you answer or why didn't you say something, right? It hits your buy box. What's up? What's wrong with it? Now, here's the cheat code, right? The cheat code is in actually joining the network. What I've been telling you is that we're going to give you free access to leverage the network. But if you want to be in the network, this is the cheat code. When you sign up, this is the 100-day. This is basically what we're talking about by the first 100. Can you believe I got on a call yesterday to prepare for this because I'm not, like I told you, I'm not gifted in public speaking world, so I had to go prep, right? And somebody said, "Are you kidding me? I can't believe you're going to sell that for $50." And I said, "What if I sold it for 47?" And they said, "Yeah, you're crazy." So for $47 a month, you can be in the network, right? You can start listing on your own. You don't have to use us to get access. You just get direct access. And so everything I just showed you in that PowerPoint, you would be that, right? You're going to be able to leverage it yourself. And then if you want to leverage it with the unlimited buyers, this is just my one disclaimer out here. You do have to upgrade to the additional $39 a month package for unlimited buyers. Just want to make sure nobody gets mad at me when they say, oh, you didn't say that. Well, it's right there. But you're still going to be able to leverage everything else on the platform. You're still going to get the branded pages. You're still going to have unlimited listings. You're still going to get to test the system by being able to add one buyer and go through it, right? But here's what we want. We want you to help us roll the snowball, right? Because when we roll the snowball together, this network gets too massive to lose. So every one of you guys that join the network and actually do the work to add the buyers to here and set up those safe searches so that your buyers are getting the alerts and they're getting the alerts of all Q's deals, right? Our snowball will get too big. That's what we're trying to do here. It's not just a software. It's not just a platform. It's not just a service. It's an actual network. It's dang near a movement, right? That's what I'm talking about. I want to make the snowball too big, right? So the cheat code is, what's that?
This is just insane, bro. Like legit, like it's insane.
Do I still got energy in these comments? I can't watch and talk. Do I still got energy?
Yes.
All right, cool.
There are people here. There are people here.
So here's the cheat code. Q already found it out. He already sniffed it out, right? You can create an entire department of your company of moving other wholesalers' deals legit without having to be the daisy chainer, like legit bringing value to that wholesaler just by being in the network, because these deals are going to be branded to you with you as the middleman. They can't just go around you. They can't even see how to go to this fella. It's for all they know, you're the only way to it, unless they know Q personally, right? And that's what's going to happen. You are going to talk to the wholesaler who blasted the deal after you send it out to your hundreds, thousands, hopefully millions of buyers, right? And then you're going to work out a deal between the buyer and the wholesaler to just collect some type of finder's fee. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you do it as a JV. I don't care if you're licensed and you get it as a commission. But what matters is you're in the middle position and you're bringing value to both parties. And you did it with $47, right? What do we think? Do we like it? Is that cheat code or is it lame?
Guys, come on. Now realtors in your network, who here is a friend who's a licensed real estate agent? Now realtors in your network can be leveraged in a way towards where they're able to make basically passive income working with you just by giving you access to the MLS network. Like, come on. You can do this in any freaking market, y'all. Like, all 50 states this works, and that's what's amazing about this. And guys, I feel like we've gotten so reliant on softwares these days. We've really missed the most valuable piece to what this business has brought into this industry. As people who wholesale, we're glorified networkers, man. We are building relationships consistently. Imagine being able to monetize every single aspect of the business, from the investor to the listing agent to the brokerage that you're working with to the private listing network. Guys, this done for you concierge service is one piece that's free. This second part is building your own network. Okay. So even if you were like, yo, well, Q, I can't afford $47, all good. You guys just got a done for you dispo model brought to your front door. You don't have to focus on disposition anymore. You can focus fully on just acquisition and finding properties, because that's what we do. That's how we make money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, guys, getting rid of one department, one of the greatest things that I was ever told, and guys, I'm literally like taking notes while Cameron's talking. Do what you do best and delegate the rest. Do what you do best and delegate the rest. So, guys, make sure y'all pull out your phones, take a snapshot of this real fast, and we're going to drop the link again, man. Everybody who signs up for this, man, this is just such a huge deal. This is going to change the way that we do business in this industry. I'm like a firm believer that within like a couple of months of what Cameron's bringing to the table with this platform, this is just going to change the way that we're all operating. No longer are we just going to see deals posted in Facebook groups anymore. They're going to be getting sold on the MLS to the highest bidder, and there's going to be a lot of money being made between multiple different parties. You could build your whole business model around this and never have to put a property under contract yourself. Just bring in people that you know that are doing massive
Yep.
volume to this platform is going to be enough for you to be able to make income every month. That's how crazy this is.
Yep. And I'm gonna add to that real quick because here's what I thought, Q. I thought that I was full of crap whenever I started it. And so I had to test it. And so here's what we did. Just like I'm telling you all, you could literally get a dispo department for $47 basically, right? You could have a dispo hub and move other wholesalers deals. Here's what I did to make sure I wasn't full of crap. I actually had a W-2 employee for the first 8 months that we launched this thing in Kentucky, where it originally came out of. And I said, hey, we're going to make sure that whenever we tell people they can do this, we're not just blowing smoke. And I want you to know that he averaged a contract a week once we launched this. And he had never done a deal like that before. A contract a week. Would that change anybody's life by chance? There we go. So, guys, that's it. That's all I got. I gave it all. I'm ready for questions if you got them. Q, if we need to cut it here, I know we've ran over a bit, but if I notice some
I'm
people
for
talking about the link, it's probably just getting overloaded right now. To be honest with you, Cannon or David Wilson, he's in there. He can share the link directly there if y'all are still having issues. Um, oh man, we have a lot of spots. I hate that you had to wait till the 18th. Maybe we can pull you up. So yeah, if you have any issues, let us know. We'll make sure we get you taken care of. Message me on Facebook. I'm super accessible. We'll get you going, right? If you want to just schedule the call and not even move forward with the concierge, but you just want to ask questions, cool. Schedule the call, ask questions, right? All right, Q. I give it to you.
Guys, what a great thing, man. Y'all, like, the reason that we're doing this right now is so that we can create a community. If y'all are a part of Dispo Labs inside of who here isn't in Dispo Labs? We need everybody in here in Dispo Labs. Cameron and I created a group. That's going to be the support hub for this, where y'all can ask any questions, where y'all can drop any type of concerns that y'all might have. If you're not in the group, Alex, can you do me a favor and drop the Dispo Labs group? We've been really pushing this for everybody that's here. We have a bunch of resources. We're adding more people to the platform. Guys, David, he's part of the team. He's doing great stuff over there with the platform, and he's definitely a wave of knowledge, man. So y'all make sure that you leverage people that are in this group. Okay. So guys, inside of the school community, that's where we're trying to be. But for anybody that's here, man, this is the next thing. I'm going to drop the links to all of this in the description of the recording. It's going to be emailed to everybody if you want to rewatch this. I'm going to pause this recording just for the sake of the video, and then we can open this up for Q&A. Cam, I'm for the people, bro. Like, I know we talked about a call at 8:30 with somebody, but I'm going to tell her, hey, we need 30 more minutes. Let's answer some
Yep.
questions, because I know that this was a lot for everybody here. Okay. So let me just pause the recording, guys. Thank y'all so much. Just for the sake of the recording, I'm pausing it now. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the link below for the access to the private listing network. Let's get it.